Begin by removing the two rear wheels. Then remove the fender liners from each rear wheel well. It may be possible to access the exhaust actuators through the wheel wells and square cutouts in the bottom of the bumper cover, but we find it easier to just remove the bumper cover and get it out of the way, especially if installation of these delete boxes is accompanying any exhaust work. The muffler cannot be removed without taking off the bumper cover. Unbolt the bottom of each vertical brace that attaches to the bumper. Unclip the 3 wire harness plugs in the driver's side wheel well and unbolt the single ground wire. Then unroute the harness using a pick and trim puller. Pop the passenger side drain tube out from its retaining clip. There is a nut and bolt as well as 2 more bolts where the bumper meets the fender on each side of the car. Remove all 6. Underneath the bumper, remove the 3 bolts at the forward edge where the bumper cover meets the rear splash shield. To remove the muffler or any other portions of the exhaust, you'll also need to remove the large metal splash shield and associated brackets, as well as the shielding forward of the rear axle. If you only plan to access the valve actuators, you can skip this step. Then remove the 2 bolts securing the rear diffuser to the bumper. Slide the diffuser back to remove it. There are 4 remaining bolts behind where the diffuser sat that also must be removed. Now move on to the inside of the trunk. Take out your Aston Martin first aid kit and tire inflator, the trunk carpeting and floor, and the back half of the weather stripping. Pop out the clips and 2 bolts holding the carpeting to the back wall of the trunk and remove it. Then pull the side carpeting away from the 2 walls of the trunk. Remove the 3 bolts holding the controller to the back wall of the trunk. And the 3 bolts on each side wall of the trunk. Then remove the 2 remaining bolts at the back wall of the trunk and the bumper should be free. Remove your rear muffler. With the muffler off the car, disassemble the 2 exhaust valve actuators. Your delete box has a rotating disc that will align with the spring in the actuator. Sandwich them together and slide one of the bolts through the bottom hole of the assembly. Then attach the mounting plate by aligning it to the two top holes of the delete box. Insert the bolts, attach the washers and nuts, and tighten it all together. Plug the actuators back in and attach them to these holes on the car. You can also reinstall them by zip tying them in these two spots. When installing with the provided brackets, check for clearance. We are not sure if they will clear a stock muffler or any commercially available aftermarket rear section. If designing a custom exhaust, it's a good idea to install them and build around them since clearance is tight.